When I was young, as a young adult, well, no, I take it back. I'm gonna take it back to like in high school. I remember, and I'm making this perfectly, relevant to, the topic, the subject matter, right? So I remember when I was in high school, I wanted to, date this one broad, right? And I was into like just basically wanting to be with one girl and be committed to one girl, you know what I'm saying? That's just how I was like in high school. But I had friends and I was pressured by my peers to, basically deal with several different girls because of the fact that that's what made you become a man. You know what I'm saying? That was the thing to do. And I had a step grandfather. I don't even want to say he's my step grandfather because I don't consider him being anything. But for the sake of the conversation, I had a step grandfather that told me, that was a preacher now. Now this is a preacher telling me this. He told me that, when you're young, you sow your oats, meaning you go out there and you deal with several different women. But then when you get old and you want to settle down, then you get married. So I had all of these people whispering deceit in my ear, telling me to basically use and abuse women. And I can say that I didn't learn how to treat a woman until I got older. But prior to that, I use and abuse women. This is the reason why I can talk about this subject matter, that the conscious community, or rather the black conscious community, because I don't know about any other conscious communities, I'm not going to judge them or talk about something that I don't know, right? I can only talk about the black conscious community. The black conscious community does not need to practice polygamy. It's just that plain and simple. All of these so-called street scholars and leaders are basically using and abusing the females that they're with. That plain and simple. And I'm not going to drop no names. Y'all know who's out there. I'll give you one great example. I mean, the obvious Nature Boy. And what's going on right now? It's like I've never seen this ever in my life. So I just found this out. You know what I'm saying? So it's this boy, Nateri. She just left Nature Boy's camp. Then she goes to this guy named TKO Capone that I don't know nothing about, and I'm not going to really talk about him or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know nothing about him. I just know that she went over to him. And then she was, I guess, with Prince York, but not with him like sexually, but just like under him as a student. But pretty much she's been just juggled around. And this is a young woman that just has no idea what she wants to do, who she wants to be with. And I just get so goddamn tired of women in particular that say, I'm trying to find myself. But every time a woman says, I'm trying to find myself, they're literally saying that they're trying to find another man to replace you. That plain and simple. It's always been that way. I had a female that told me that. And the next week she was with someone else. But this is what happens with these cult leaders, with these street scholars, and these so-called teachers and leaders in the conscious community. They have no clue what they're doing. Absolutely none. Because who do you fashion yourself from? You see what I'm saying? Like, I give you an example. Where does Polite get his practice as far as dealing with polygamy? Where does Prince York get his practice as far as dealing with polygamy? Like, what examples are you all, you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to, like, take for example, my son grows up and he becomes a polygamist, right? But I taught him the ropes, right? So that's the question I'm asking, like, where you all getting on the instructions on how to properly run a polygamous family? Period. And it's like, I don't like talking about men. I just don't. I'd rather sit here and talk about women. But every time I see this polygamy shit going on in the conscious community, it's always that the woman is being exploited, no matter who I see. do I see? Like, I'm going to say this. I don't know whether that guy T.K. Capone is sincere or not, but I will say this. I think that was a form of exploitation when he put her on the camera while him and Nature Boy was on, I don't know what that thing is called. It's some new shit. I don't know what it's called. But they were going back and forth, and then he puts her on the camera. I'm like, nah, man, don't do that. And I just don't understand how women in particular, like Nature Boy's, camp or whatever, he's starving them chicks. Those boys look bad, especially the chick Malia, or whatever you pronounce her name. It's crazy. Like Nature Boy, at least from what I see, Polite, Prince York, T.K. Capone, at least they're women that look healthy. But Nature Boy's chicks, they look horrible. It's like he's starving them. And I just don't understand how, but then again I do. You understand? I do understand how black women are in abusive relationships because they're looking for love. And that's the point. They're looking for love, not knowing that love that they're looking for, it has to come within inside. It's not an external thing. But I get it. Most of them have been raised by a single parent household, such as their mother. And they didn't have that father figure there. This is the reason why it is imperative for African American men, such as myself and others, to be in our children's lives, but in particular, our little girls. I have little girls, right? I have a teenager, you know what I'm saying? And we're bumping heads because it's like her hormones are changing and she's changing, and it's like she's not the little girl anymore. So I have to kind of balance that out. I have to have understanding. I can't be rough with her and tough and all the rest of that stuff. I have to put her over here. She's not 5 and 7 anymore. She's not 2. So I have to have some understanding when talking to her. But this is the problem. This is what you get when you don't have a father figure in your life. Or in the case of what's her name, Velvet or Ileana, in her case, her father was in her life, but she just didn't listen. And she thought she knew what was best for her. She thought what she was doing was the right thing. See, most of the females that deal with Nature Boy, that go down there, are very free-spirited. That's what I see. They're like all about nature and, it's about love and all the rest of that. And they see that he's living in nature. So their understanding is, I'm going to go down there, we're going to grow vegetables, and we're going to be this happy village and this and that and so forth. And then they get down there and they get their ass kicked, smacked around, they're not fed, they're put in closets, stored in closets at jail time. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I literally seen Malaya and Velvet fight for 23 minutes. It was just the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen in my life. And that's the point that I'm making. I don't believe that any of these leaders, so-called street scholars, teachers, or whatever you want to call them, that's in the black conscious community, deserve to practice polygamy, because they are giving polygamists a bad name. Period. Period. If you are a polygamist and your woman is not being exalted, and if you are a polygamist and your family, your family is not coming together as a village and raising the children properly and trying to leave a legacy behind. In other words, if you're not practicing polygamy in order for it to be a family business, I'm telling you, you are doing it all wrong. It ain't about the pussy, man. It ain't about the sexual endeavors and all the rest of that mess. It's not about that. See, let me tell you something. I'm going to be real with you. I could be a polygamist. I could be one, but I choose not to. You want to know why? Because I'm one man. and I may have four different wives, right? And it's a certain type of person that you have to be in order to be a polygamist. I don't have the patience to deal with different attitudes. I can hardly deal with the mother of my children, let alone 4 different personalities. And you have to cater to each one. And you have to be just as equal and fair across the board to each and every one. I know I don't have the patience for that. Now, any man can say this. I can say this. On a sexual level, I'm more than sure that I'll be able to please each and every one of them. But sex, that's not what it's about. It's not all about sex as being a polygamist. It's not. It's kind of like the last thing on the list. It enrages me to see this. To see women tossed around, especially our own black women. I'm not perfect. I told you I got a bad record. I used to use women, not abuse them. If you want to say abuse them mentally, yeah. If you cheat on a woman, you are mentally abusing her. She's gonna be hurt. So I know that was wrong. And now I know how to treat a woman. I know that it ain't about sex, man. It's just not. And this is the reason why I know I can have female friends. And that I can help those female friends. Period. Yo, it's a shame, I have 2 channels, and on both of those channels, I could tell you, I have a extremely low amount of women that look at my videos. It's extremely low until it hurts. You understand? Because if it's anyone that you all should look at, women that is, it should be me. You're not gonna get this narcissistic attitude when dealing with me. You're not gonna get an ego-driven person with pride with dealing with me. You're not gonna get this arrogant person that never wants to apologize when dealing with me. Period. But yo, man, I mean, if you wanna mess with those people, and I'm not saying anyone in particular, but you wanna mess with those pimps, then so be it. I'm not gonna even call these guys that's in the black conscious community that practice polygamy, and I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I'm not gonna even call them polygamists anymore. They're pimps. Call them like you see them, like you know them. They're pimps, and they're pimping out black women. It's just that plain and simple. And at least in some cases with pimps, they at least make sure that their women are fed, that they're clothed, that they look good. They look good, or rather they look presentable to their Johnny. For those that know the terms on the street, and they can make more money. But in a particular case with certain ones, and you know who I'm talking about. He don't even make sure that his females look good. They look bad. I want to see whatever woman that I'm dealing with shine brighter than I do. Point blank, period. And if y'all ain't into that, if it's all about sense of self, you and I ain't got nothing to say. I'm really speechless, to be real with you. You know, because it's people like me, you know, that's really I ain't gonna say trying to do the right thing, but it's it's persons like myself and others that, you know, get on YouTube and really are sincere in what they're doing. And they just get overlooked. They just get overlooked. And then, this is what's so crazy about it. Then when I make a deal with the white man, because the white man sees interest in me, he sees potential, and in reality he sees that he can make money off of me. But at least he's seen something. Y'all don't see shit. You don't see that the jewels that I possess. You know what I mean? You rather go live with someone that you don't know. You rather leave your house or home and leave your loved ones in order to go to someone that you don't know to get your ass beat starved to death, and basically yelled at all times, belittled. I'm speechless, man. Listen, y'all are broken. You women that are dealing with these men in the black conscious community that practice polygamy are broken. That's what I see. A lost girl, a lost little girl in a woman's body. You got to get your mind right. So when you actually say, I need to find myself, you really need to. And finding yourself is not giving blowjobs to the next man. It's that plain and simple. Finding yourself is literally sticking a yoni egg up your vagina and getting all that extracting all of that negative energy I offer you, burning some sage around, going on a detox, a fast, meditating. That's finding yourself, or at least helping to find yourself. But if you are leaving one pimp to go to the next, that's not finding yourself. That you're just being prostituted. That's just it. That plain and simple. Yo, I'm out. I ain't gonna talk about this anymore. My name is Langston 2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video.